Hi, this is Steve Davis, and this is Investor Tip Tuesday from Total Wealth Academy. What I want to discuss today, we've discussed before, but I never put these two things together. They're in separate investor tips, but I want to bring them together because it's fun, but it's also a little disturbing. It's going to be a little shocking when I get to a certain point where you go, oh my God, I can't believe that. So let's first talk about this point. Does a belief have to be true to be debilitating? The answer is no. One time I was on the air and a lady called in. I had been bragging about some of the students owning over 100 houses. I had done over 100. And she said, I have 4 rent houses. My bank told me I could only have 4 rent houses. So a year ago, I stopped looking for rent houses. I explained to her, I said, that's that bank's rule. Go across the street to another bank, they'll do 4. Go across the street to another bank, they'll do 4. Then you'll eventually get to a bank who has no limit. You can buy as many as you want. In other words, there is no limit to the number of houses you can buy. But what you need to understand is it didn't matter. She believed in her head that you could only have 4 rent houses, so she quit looking. A false belief debilitated her. False beliefs are just as damaging as if they were true because you think it's true, so it acts on you as if it's true. Now here's the disturbing part. What if the majority of your beliefs were from unqualified people? The first thing you have to admit is that most of your beliefs about life came from somebody else. Your parents gave you a tremendous number of them. Your high school teachers gave you some. Your professors gave you some. You've gotten them from different sources. They're not even your beliefs. But because it's the only resource you have for that particular problem or challenge, you rely on those other people's beliefs. So what you want to do in psychology, they call it a belief table. And your beliefs are the tabletop, and the legs that hold up your belief are the legs of past experience. And at certain times, this is great. One of those would be when you were a little child and you moved towards the stove. Someone stopped you. So let's first look at the belief. The eye of a stove is hot. We all have that belief, I believe. It's a pretty common belief. Hey, the eye of a stove is hot. If I ask you why you believe that, you're going to give me your past experience. You're going to say, I've cooked on it, I've boiled water on it, I burnt my hand on it. That's all your past experience. But again, going back to the little child, even little kids know the eye of a stove is hot. Because if you see your child waddling or crawling towards the stove, what do? You stop them, give them a hug and a kiss and say, don't put your hand up there, it's hot. That's a thing called referral past experience. And in that case, it's excellent. The problem is most referral past experience is not excellent, it's poor and unqualified. We're getting our beliefs from the wrong sources. An example I'll give you, at one time I believed in diversification. Finish this sentence for me. Don't put all your eggs, you could finish it, couldn't you, in one basket. All of us have been taught not to put all our eggs in one basket. But is that the right belief? Let's look at it for a moment. When I was first getting into real estate investing, I had a friend of mine walk up to me and ask me, I was at an event, I was complaining about my financial position, I was complaining about my money, and he asked me, what are you doing with your money? And I said, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, I am diversified. Well, when he stopped laughing at me, which seemed like a half hour, but it was just a few seconds, he began to ask, where'd you get the idea you're supposed to be diversified? Well, the first thing I said was, my parents' referral past experience taught me not to put all my eggs in one basket. He asked, he goes, Steve, were your parents in the financial position that you want to be in? Had they ever been in the financial position you want to be in? I said, no. Can you see that leg is now knocked out from under that belief? Now remember, the legs hold up the belief and keep it from falling into disbelief. One of those legs is gone now. I went on and I said, wait a minute, I took college prep economics in high school. My high school teachers taught me not to put all my eggs in one basket. He asked the same question. Were your high school teachers in the financial position that you want to be in? We all know the answer to that. No. I shut up at that point because I was embarrassed, but had I proceeded, I would have had to have told him that when I was in college, I audited a class where a professor came in, complained about his car note, his house note, his pay, his wife, and then proceeded to teach 150 kids economics. Boom. Another leg knocked out. I became painfully aware at that point that all of my beliefs about money had come from people unqualified to give them to me. Not malicious, not stupid. They just didn't know. Ask yourself, were your parents multimillionaire entrepreneurs? Were your high school teachers or professors multimillionaire entrepreneurs? They weren't. But they gave us beliefs about money. See the disturbing part? Just about, I would suggest over 80% of our beliefs come from incorrect or ineffective sources. 80%. It may even be higher than that because so many of our beliefs come from other people. Now, here's a tool to correct this. What you do is you start dictating where your referral past experience comes from. If you want to learn about money, you've got to get around multimillionaire entrepreneurs. So let's first talk about Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie was a billionaire. Do you know what Andrew Carnegie said over 100 years ago about diversification? Very few of you do. I've done this in front of 300 people and only 6 people raised their hands. He said, put all your eggs in one basket and spend your entire life making sure nobody kicks over your basket. Isn't it interesting? We all knew the middle class and poor belief, don't put all your eggs in one basket, but very, very few of us knew the billionaire belief, put all your eggs in one basket. So then let's rebuild it with some other referral past experience. Sam Walton of Walmart fame, Warren Buffett, and Peter Lynch, all billionaires, all call it diversification. Diversification. See, what you have to do, you've got to start questioning every belief in your head, every one, about marriage, about fitness, about money, every belief in your head. Start trying to find its source and ask yourself, was that source qualified? You don't go to the fat guy and ask him how to lose weight. You don't go to the guy who's been divorced 3 times and ask him about women. You've got to control the referral past experience. So take all of your beliefs, question them. If you find out that the source of your belief was unqualified, go rebuild it. Read, attend seminars, start learning from people who have what you're trying to achieve. The key word is have. They have it. They've done it. They've achieved it. You get a guy who's 4% body fat, runs 4 miles a day, maybe you want to talk to him about fitness. The guy who's been married to the same woman for 35 years, maybe you talk to him about marriage. If you want to learn about money, you better get around some multimillionaire entrepreneurs who will share their ideas with you. So there's Investor Tip Tuesday. Thanks for watching.